early morning because in Europe we had a time change. So yeah, bear with me. I'm gonna now get a link for the stream because today I'm gonna have a special guest, which is who is Jonas Lagoni. So we're gonna talk today about the ideas on how can we scale the contribution rate, contribution amount, actually the list of the maintainers for one of the AsyncAPI projects, which is called Modelina. But yeah, let me first see that actually anyone is listening. So yeah, bear with me. So how are you dealing with the time difference change? I mean, like time change, like daylight saving, whatever is the English name. Oh yeah, hey Koda, morning. It's like terrible. Like, Koda, did you have some time changes over the weekend? Like, do you have those where you live? Daytime saving, whatever. Because normally, when I was doing these streams, it was 10 a.m. here for me. Now it's 9 a.m. It's super, super early. And good morning to our guest.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Sunshine. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. But
It was a
you're
bit rough,
you're
but
in you're in the office.
yeah.
I mean, oh, so not you didn't wake up like 5 minutes ago yet.
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
it's actually earlier than that. Yeah.
Respect, respect.
How
If
about
it
you?
would be later, I would cheers for you, but I just have a coffee.
How you doing?
Oh man, like this time difference change. Older you get, it affects you more. I noticed when I was younger. I mean, I had I didn't care about the time change difference, but now like it hits me harder. I can't wait once they get rid of it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
I mean, they plan to do it, right? I think the actually the ambitious plans were that it's gonna happen even this year, but the pandemia, I think they blocked discussions because of pandemia last year. But yeah, in
Ah.
European Union, they want to unify that we don't make any switch.
Oh, you're talking about the summer winter time
Yeah, yeah,
change?
yeah, yeah,
Ah, okay, yeah,
yeah,
got it.
exactly.
I have. Is that just a Polish thing or
What?
getting rid of it? Is it a Polish thing or is it?
No, European Union. You
Ah,
should know about it. Like you're part of it.
no. No, no, no.
No,
Mm-mm. Never heard of it.
you're gonna hear about it. I think next year is the end date. It should be because it doesn't
Daylight
make sense.
savings.
Kuda, can you confirm that we're audible and the quality is good? But Jonas, you should be happy to wake up so early because then the day is much longer.
I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
Depends how much you like your life or not.
I mean, the day is the same whether I wake up at 12 or whether I wake up at 8. I just go to bed earlier, right?
Ah, you would. Okay.
So if I
Yeah.
wake up at like 10, then I go to bed really late or later.
I had few years in my life when I was going to bed like around 1 and waking up at 6, 7. And it was pretty. I had a feeling that shorter I sleep, better I feel. So sometimes I was even shortening sleep time to 4 hours, and I felt like perfect. And it was like I was Monday, Thursday, I was doing like 3, 4 hours sleep, and then Fridays when I was going back from home, from work to home, 6 p.m. I was already in bed and waking up at 10 on Saturday. But yeah.
Mm.
Hello, Sergio.
YouTube channels.
Nope, not nothing can stop us from doing
Apparently
this
not.
interesting streams. So, are we starting? Are you ready?
I'll never get ready at this hour, but yeah.
And we're supposed to be this during this stream. We're supposed to be innovative and
Oh, yeah, let's see about that.
getting some ideas. But yeah, I'm gonna open up a notepad for myself. So I'm gonna make notes. So we basically don't have to watch the recording to note down all the ideas we have. Not sure how about you. I don't really like watching me and listening to myself.
No, I'd rather not. I'd rather skip that part.
I wonder how actors like it. Like if they
That's a good question.
watch their movies. Like Arnold
They can for sure.
Schwarzenegger, if he's watching did he watch the Terminator?
They probably practice so much that they're getting used to listening to themselves. I would imagine. Like just recording themselves all day and then playing it back.
Interesting.
Maybe.
So before we start, Sergio, because Kuda is ignoring me. Thank you, Kuda. But maybe Sergio, can you confirm if we're audible and the quality is good? Can we start, or should we fix something? If at least we can. Jonas, you have some professional mic as well, right? So you can tune some stuff or not, like sensitivity or.
I can do some stuff, but I'm not sure how much better the sound quality will be. So
I mean, it sounds good. Like the quality is good, but just
Okay.
asking.
But yeah, I do, but I have not like tampered with it, so it's
Voice volume is a bit low. Interesting.
then turn the sound up, maybe.
Bingo. And you're welcome, Sergio. You're welcome. Let me see if I can take this.
I mean, it is 9 a.m. So
Okay. So going to the core of the topic, we will today use all our powers in the morning to brainstorm about like how to scale the number of not just even contributions, but like the community around the Modelina project, to have more maintainers as well, right? And so like few words about Modelina for sorry. Kuta is writing. Sorry, I think you asked me something during the 10 seconds that I skipped to see the live video. Oh, just 10 seconds. Yeah, sorry, because I'm making jokes without showing the comment. So, no worries, Kuda. No, no offense taken. Sometimes when I'm gonna skip your PR review, it's because probably the notification about PR review came into in between this 10 seconds break I had at the moment. Okay. Wait a second, 'cause something broke with my. Oh wow. Hey, do you know how to turn off? Oh yeah. No. What? Okay. I'm not gonna explain myself what just happened. Let's say I'm not fully yet flexible or not like knowledgeable about all the features Mac has, and I just turn on the loop feature, and
Ah.
Jonas was like super close to me. Okay, so going back to the core, Modelina. Modelina is a AsyncAPI library, like not AsyncAPI library. So it's a library that is hosted under AsyncAPI organization, but it's no longer just only for AsyncAPI. It is a code generator that can be used also with other formats than AsyncAPI. And now you will have to support me, Jonas, because I don't remember what state is it now. Like I know it's AsyncAPI, it's JSON schema, but don't remember the versions. It's probably, of course, the draft 7, but what else?
Yes. Wait, am I lagging? Yes, I am. So yeah, so JSON schema drafts 4, 6, and 7, along with all the async API versions, and just recently added support for OpenAPI documents as well for 2.0 and 3.0, whatever range there is there.
Yeah. So just for the respect of people working on OpenAPI, in case of 2.0, it's Swagger. Because they like to always remind people like it's Swagger 2.0 and then OpenAPI 3.0. But what about the OpenAPI 3.1?
But sorry, what?
OpenAPI 3.1? 3.1?
3.4? No, 3.04. So the 3.1 is not supported. Not yet.
Is there 3.04?
Yes. They did 3. No. Can't remember if it's 4 or if it's 3. I always mix them up. But they created 2 free fixes.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was just 3.0.1 one fix and then 3.1. Okay, but yeah. Interesting. But yeah, anyway, so AsyncAPI, go back. Modelina is for types generation for different languages, and the input document can be not just AsyncAPI, but many other things. And now the core parts about like the core functionalities in Modelina, like feature-wise, is the input format. So this is extendable. More formats can be added. And current formats have to be maintained and improved, I guess, when there are some bugs. Now, then the other core feature is the output. So languages, right? So the output of the types, like, is it TypeScript interfaces or is it like whatever different thing, Java or
Java stuff.
Or not Java. But yeah,
Java or not Java?
Java or not. By the way, have you watched Silicon Valley?
Yes, some of it.
Do you remember this application that was recognizing food? And this,
yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hot dog, not a hot dog.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah.
Java or not Java?
So yeah, I'm able to recognize the code by saying it's Java or not Java. Okay, so output languages, it's also something that can be like you can just work on a output for a given language, Java or not Java, or you can add new languages and you can support just a given part of the Modelina. And third one is presets.
Presets, yeah.
But it's also like kind of coupled, like not coupled, like it's associated with the output languages, because presets are basically configuration points for the output that you get for a given language. So you can like in TypeScript, you can have TypeScript types or TypeScript. No, I don't remember. So you have TypeScript interfaces, or you can have something different. I don't remember what. Or it's just interfaces.
I mean, there's interfaces, classes, unions, types.
But you can all those different you can generate.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are part of the rendering. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we have presets to alter, say you want getter setter methods, or whether you want unmarshalling code or whatever you actually want.
So all the configurations, they are presets, and they also need support and maintenance. And now Jonas started a discussion recently about like setting up a champions. Is it the name?
Yeah.
Like Modelina champions that could work together with us on the project and take over a responsibility for a part of the project. And can you like introduce it before we do the brainstorming for others for the context? Thank you. But like, just you don't have to take too much time for it. Like, just briefly, like explain the concept. That's or just like do whatever you want, whatever. You're gonna share the screen, right?
Sure. Let me just clear up some stuff then, because I have way too much. I have no idea which screen is which. Nope. Yes. Yeah, so the whole idea is that we try to find an like the best approach to allow others to take ownership of the library. And this is basically to increase contributions and make it easier for people to help out. And one of the suggestions that I made was language champions, which are basically champions for the generator side of things. So it's output languages. So we would have, as we have now, JavaScript, Java, Go, C#, TypeScript champions, which all will be a committer for Modelina, and in that sense also added to the TSC. And their responsibility would be to take ownership of the specific generator code and making changes to it, features and fixes. And the idea is that it's one of the easier areas to start out with and give ownership. And that's the basic idea. How and when we should do it, and whether we should do it, that's another. Yeah. Another question.
I mean, we have to do it like if you want to scale. So
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, another approach would be to just have Modelina contributors instead of just saying that they are responsible for the one generator. Whether they mainly work on the specific generator wouldn't really matter. We could still just do some core Modelina contributors, right? Or
Yeah,
maintainers.
but we can have a mix, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand. I don't. I mean, I understand what I have to say it in English. I don't take it like this proposal as just the only way to go with it,
Oh,
right?
no.
It's just a proposal for like language champions, because like some people might be just interested with really the output for a given language and don't care much about the whole core of Modelina. But if somebody over time, let's say, wants to contribute more into the core of the Modelina, I don't think we would block anyone from doing it.
Nope.
Yeah. So
Nah, we would never.
it's yeah, definitely a mix. Okay, I think you can stop sharing. So now to start the brainstorming, it's important to, I think, to have like at least both of us, but others that listen, please share your opinions also in the chat, or you can also join us live if you want. I just pasted a link that is visible in Twitch and YouTube. So basically, would be good that like I share my view and you, Jonas, share your view how you see scaling of the contributions. So basically, my I think I'm pretty strongly opinionated here is that like Modelina is like one of hundreds of thousands projects in GitHub. Even if it's super awesome, I think it's a wishful thinking to assume that people will find it and come and help to contribute. Even though AsyncAPI community is already big, but we don't have a good discovery of tools to count on the AsyncAPI contributors. So like my entry point for the whole discussion would be to forget about AsyncAPI community in case of Modelina and try to go beyond that to really scale the contribution. So in short, that's my view. And like let's confront my opinion with your opinion.
I'm kind of split in between. So my opinion of it is that this might not be the correct time to do it. That's my gut feeling, that it's a bit too early to actually start focusing on this. Did you just drink from the from the what's it called? Yeah.
But not directly. I was just pouring it and then didn't want the drop to fall. And it's not real coffee. It's a grain coffee.
What's the difference?
Yeah. No caffeine.
Oh.
Yeah, grain coffee is like it's made from grain, roasted grain, I think. So it tastes is like similar to coffee, but it's basically a it's not a coffee. There's no caffeine, so like basically your stomach will not die if you drink too much.
Got it.
That's the point. Because usually I was using it in the morning, and there are like 3 coffees fits into it, and after drinking these 3 coffees one after another, yeah, my stomach at some point of time showed me a middle finger saying like, no, then we have to adjust a bit. So yeah.
Fair enough. All right, back to topic.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, back to topic. I think that it's a bit too early to start focusing on this. But on the other side, there's never a correct time to do it.
Exactly.
So we might as well just get started. And Language Champions was one of the, or for the generators or for the output languages, it was more it's one of the easier tasks to take ownership of, because you know which language that you are working with, like the output. And of course, you would need to know how the Modelina works as well, or from the TypeScript side of things. And that in itself is a huge enough task to have to maintain, which is why I think it's natural that there is this that we could focus on the generator or the language side of things, because the input and the processing of the input is rather complex and is not fully, what's it called? Not fully defined yet. Because there's no right and wrong. It is basically just go out on a limb and say this is more or less accurate in what I would expect. And especially when we have to do with JSON schema, because yeah, it can be complex really quickly.
Yeah, but looking on other our tools, they're not really, none of them is perfect. None of them is completed. Like we released 1.0 of generator and 1.0 of parser a few months, 1 year ago. But like we know parser is, it's used in production, but we're not happy with it, right? And we would like to rewrite the API entirely.
I don't think you will find any maintainers that think that their library is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like first of all we need to agree that like there will be never a best like perfect moment to start doing something. So why not just trying, and then like we're gonna see like maybe in the end nobody will react, and all the actions that we take will just have no reaction. And that's it. Maybe that's gonna be a moment to think about it, like even more, like why it happened. But I would not wait for a perfect code base and 3.0 release or whatever. Do we want to go into discussion if maybe it's a good moment to release 1.0 of Modelina? No, I don't think so. Do you want to?
Let's not do that, because that's gonna bring a whole lot of discussion with it.
So I think we have an agreement that we definitely would like to try to do something else than just preaching about the project in the AsyncAPI community.
Right.
Yeah. But before we go further, I was thinking about AsyncAPI because like a few minutes earlier I said like that we should not count only on AsyncAPI community. But also like, did you think about because now Modelina is usable as a library, and it's used in the code generators from AsyncAPI generator, but it's pretty limited usage. And I was thinking like, wouldn't it be better to focus, instead of any improvements in the Modelina, now to actually enable it in the CLI, AsyncAPI CLI, because we're gonna put a lot of effort into promoting using the AsyncAPI CLI, and then once it's enabled there, so it's pretty easy for any developer to like start the project and then just using CLI generate just the types for the project. maybe it's gonna expose it to more users and therefore more contributors. So
Good idea. I'm actually just gonna create a feature request now, because then I'll not forget.
then we have a question from Sergio.
Great question.
It's a great question, but like, so I'm gonna question you back, Sergio. Like, when you research a library on GitHub, do you care what organization hosts it? I mean, sometimes it's Google, sometimes it's just private. I personally don't care like who's hosting the library. I actually care about what's in the README and do the research about the specific library. Don't care about the context on the organization level or the profile level. So I would only say that this statement is valid for people that look at Modelina from AsyncAPI perspective. So they could assume that like, okay, it's in AsyncAPI, so it's probably just for AsyncAPI. So they will not automatically assume that it's for OpenAPI as well, or just JSON schema. But yeah, that's my view. Jonas?
I like again, I think.
You what?
I think I lagged out again. So I didn't hear the last 5 seconds that you just spoke.
Oh, like it's still less than Kuda's 10 seconds. So, but yeah, just say that you agree with me, and we can go.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead. Okay, cool. So,
but
so
no,
yeah,
I know what, like, if we have a well-defined description of the library, I don't think it's a blocker. As long as, yeah, the noise that you make around the library is, or doesn't cover
yeah, the
the
messaging
floor,
is
good. Yeah,
is important. Yeah. So yeah, now making it much more visible. The cool stuff about like what will make it easier in Modelina is that Modelina is JSTS, which is like JavaScript, TypeScript community related, and this excuse me.
Don't get the grain stuck in your throat.
Exactly. That was the reason. The drop of the grain. So the cool stuff about JS community is that like there are already many channels where you can promote your tools, and it's like I will make a public statement saying like I think JavaScript community is more open and outgoing and extrovert than Java community. With all due respect to Java community, but so I think that we could try to leverage. In Poland, 911 doesn't work, Sergio. So in case of medical help, it's I don't remember the number. It's 112. Like I think it's in the European Union now, right? 112 everywhere.
I mean, it's in Denmark, yeah. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the same here. So yeah, we're going away from the topic.
Yeah, again.
Yes.
Just floating.
So, for example, first of all, we would need, in my opinion, a article about Modelina, where Async API is not a focus, and and it's not published on asyncapi.com, maybe. Because like we need a basic story explanation of the idea behind the project, and we need a reference. So like when we then share knowledge about the project, it's always good to link to some article about it.
True. Makes
Agree?
sense. Yeah.
Making notes. Now, there's a lot of noise we can do on Twitter. Some time ago, I tried to promote one project on Twitter, and there are those accounts like JavaScript Daily and others that they have like a official channels that you can use to communicate with the moderators of those accounts, ask them to review a project, and then share with the community.
Hmm.
But I think we would first need to have a blog post as a reference that we can always link to, not just a README.
Right. Makes sense.
And what about a conference talk on some JS like conference? Again, nothing related to nothing in relation to Async API.
That could also work, yeah.
Yeah.
Solid idea. Hmm.
I'm not sure if there's, because I'm not I don't think it's a secret. I'm not the biggest fan of TypeScript.
Oh no. Oh.
So I'm not following any TypeScript fanatic newsletters or Twitter accounts or whatever. Do you know if there's anything like because I know there's this nice trend, like nice trend, like people that like TypeScript, they like to talk about like, yeah, you have to rewrite the whole JavaScript ecosystem into TypeScript, like do it, let's do it. And like people are proud about seeing projects written in TypeScript. At least I always take it like this.
might
um
be. Might be.
So, do you know if there are any places where people like TypeScript um, fanatics
Yeah.
share
I have
projects?
absolutely no idea. I
Kuda,
have no idea.
if you're still listening, I remember that, especially when you joined at the beginning of Google Summer of Code, we had a pretty short exchange, and I had a feeling, yeah, that you're like one of TypeScript fanatics. So Kuda, do you know like do you follow any accounts? Do you know some communities where we can jump in and share Modelina just because it's TypeScript? And I bet there are people that just want to contribute to the project just because it's TypeScript. No? Is my view on the world broken?
It might be biased.
Bias is a good word. Oh, Kuda was listening. Thank you, Kuda. So yeah, unfortunately, no.
It's probably too early for Magic to be here.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, I was thinking about Maciek as well. He's master fanatic in TypeScript. So one of the points on the list is like ask Maciek. I bet he knows some dark web places where people talk about TypeScript only.
But yeah, what it boils down to, as I hear it, is more or less make noise, right? In a sense, it's just make noise around Modelina. My next question is, in what state should Modelina be in for us to do that?
The only stage I see is like it's really needed is where people can very quickly play with it. So we're just missing from the playground. We are only missing a part where people can use more than AsyncAPI as an input. Because
All right.
yeah, so when
Okay.
people will land in GitHub, they will see README. README is pretty clear what it is, and there are examples as well. And there's also a link to the playground. It's just to give people like a super quick way of trying it out, like getting an output for whatever they put as an input. And many people will just try to use their JSON schemas or open API documents because they are not async API users. So I think that would be critical, in my opinion.
Makes sense, yeah. But what about document?
It's script, right? So it's used because it's easier to read, so people don't have to read documentation, right?
I wish it was that simple.
I think the project has already a lot of good documentation. So, and some examples are there already.
There are, yeah.
So it's one of the best projects I've seen that enable you for a first use before 1.0 release. I mean, it would be cool to start making noise after 1.0 release, but first you have to be convinced that it's okay to release it as 1.0. And again, we're circling around 1.0 release.
Yeah, we are for sure. But that is like, that is nowhere near ready for that, in my opinion. And especially when I can't focus on it full time at the moment, it's kind of one of those things that just gets slowly worked on.
But yeah, you see where it's getting, like, so you're like it's a dead end, like because you can't really focus, then like it will never reach 1.0 if it has to be perfect to reach 1.0.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess not. Yeah.
I mean, like, what's the definition of 1.0 really? Like
Stable.
stable. Why it cannot be stable? What's changing so often? Is it changing because there are like super important changes? Like you see that the API of presets is crappy. It should be changed, like the way you register presets or whatever you have to refactor, or basically, like, what does it mean? What's the problem if you release 1.0 and then after 3 months you release 2.0?
True.
Look at Jest. Like, I'm lost. Like Jest, I think it's version 15 now. I think they have set up to release every 3 or
26.
26, yeah. And they're releasing, I think, every 3 or every 6 months new version, new major. So they have kind of schedule. And do you care about it? Like, is it a problem for you to use Jest? I mean, we use Jest all over the place.
Yeah. With
And
different
like,
versions.
yeah, different versions, and we don't really much care about, like, even if we are using version 23 and it's 26. I mean, if it works now with 23, we're not gonna upgrade. We don't need it, and it's fine.
True.
Um,
True.
and we update only when we see that there's a bug that is fixed in next version or 2 versions later, and we just then switch. So yeah, I think we have to, like, be more brave here if it comes to the major releases. Like, look at the JavaScript parser, for example.
Mm-hmm.
There's this parser error, how we handle errors coming from the parser, and like, it's okay, it works fine, but it could be improved. There's already an issue from Maciej, like way how to properly handle those the error, throwing errors from the parser, which is like a crucial part of the parser, because like you basically want to have much more flexibility here, because parser is throwing a lot of errors as its validator as well. So the problem is that it's there, and I, for example, because of the current approach we have to releasing new major versions, I always was annoyed by the errors, how they work, and I wanted to push that forward and do it. But then I was like, yeah, but it's a breaking change, and we're gonna have to release to 0. So I don't want to do it, and I just forgot about it, postponed it, and we basically stopped making improvements just because we're just somehow afraid of these next versions.
Yep, that's
and
true.
and it's, I mean, it's not a problem if we release parser to 0 and then don't use it in some generators. Only one specific generator will use it or something like this.
I mean, wouldn't parser and generator move hand in hand in this like same version? So whenever we release a new major version of the parser, we release a new major version of the generator. Wouldn't that always be the case?
Should be, otherwise the some templates can start failing. So yeah, but yeah, it's just an example. There's some comment from Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even read it because it's like stability is a key, and stability doesn't mean project is perfect. It's just like, it's an API that you're going to use. It's more or less stable because it's there for a few months.
Right.
And then you release it, and then, like, if you see some feedback, some issues, like, plan next release in 3 months. And you know how time runs fast here. In open source, like, we always say, like, open source is slow and changes are made slow, but it's not because we're slow. It's because the time is rushing so fast that you don't even notice, and it's already 3 months after. So yeah.
But yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. I'd really like to have this. I remember CEO created an issue for it in the community repo, where is this Linux Foundation core infrastructure best practices list or
.github
approach.
report, yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is that we have this code injection problem that we can't or not really sure how to fix. which is kind of blocking signing up for this. Because if we want, there's like 3 levels that you can reach. Just to get to a passing level, there should be no unpatched vulnerabilities. But we have one that's public. It has just not been fixed because we have no idea how to really fix it. Or we know how to fix it, we just don't know the right approach to fixing it. Should it be more from the parser side of things, or should it be in the specific repositories? Or, and I'm not sure whether that should be addressed before making noise version 1.
Are they how they are solving it with in the quick type? Do you know?
No, I actually don't. But it's a good question.
Yeah. And it's only a problem for Modelina used as a library in some production environment, but we know Modelina it's a type generator. Many people will use it just on their local machine to just generate type just once for the project. They will probably not regenerate later, or if regenerate, then it's still something like, I mean, I'm not sure how others are advanced in this field, but in code generation, you're usually doing it like local because you always want to make sure it works. Like you're not even touching build system there. At least that's how I worked before AsyncAPI. Like it was really any code generator for OpenAPI. It was always something that you use locally. And use it just once to generate to scaffold the project, and that's it. Like you don't care about the security in the underlying library much. So this is like
Right.
on one hand you're right about the security, but on the other hand, like depends how people use it. So it can be also a clearly documented issue. Like should be pointed out in the README. Like what's the risk, and what use cases are affected by the risk, right?
Yeah, I still think that we should at least I think we should take some approach to how to fix it, or at least to some extent, and then say beyond this point it's you're on your own, basically. But yeah, should we have this best practices down? Like, should we solve this security issue and then get this passing level stable or stable before making noise?
If we think that it's not a long-term future, then it's better to wait, in my opinion, for stable release and some kind of fix for the security issue or improvement in the docs, like clear statement about it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, I think we have someone in the waiting room. Sorry, I'm old. I don't see. So it's Alexander Salas Bastidas. So I guess your list, you can hear me, so I'm gonna let you in. Hey, Alexander.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Hello.
Thank you.
Can you share with us why you joined? How did you figure it out we do a live stream?
I was following the project from several weeks ago, but I didn't take a look in deep all detail about the project, and I have today the opportunity join to the live streaming. But I am software developers based in Barcelona, Spain, and I am an owner of the ODM or DMFs, is Design Manufacturing Services, and we are focused on the API very much. It is we build IoT products for manufacturer in China, for customer in USA.
Awesome.
Yes.
Welcome. And like IoT, async APIs is perfect. And like in few weeks, we're gonna have, actually in 2 weeks, I guess. It's already November. So you probably noticed the banner at the top. So we have we're gonna have a conference, and one of the talks
Nice.
is from cool folks from Netherlands that have IoT project, and they use MQTT, and they're gonna talk about like how they use async API in IoT.
Cool, cool.
So
I was looking for MQTT proxy and Kafka to do some experiment.
yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
yes. And good to see you. Nice to meet you. And I hope I can contribute to the project.
Definitely. So we have these live streams about contributing to async API. They were supposed to be only in October, but they will stay here for longer because like people like them, people join them. So every Wednesday, I think we're gonna have them every Wednesday, even after the conference. So you can always join, ask questions. You can join live if you want, and always suggest a topic like who should be invited, or what part of the async API we should discuss about from the perspective of the contributor. So
Perfect. I like it. I am as like a like a hobby or part-time is building microservices and chatbots and several resources for continuous integration, continuous delivery, and tools to build faster or application and resources.
cool. And we actually have one chatbot project in async API as well. So
Cool.
you might have
Very
a look.
good. Okay, I will take a look in deep all the resources and sub project, and let's see what we can do by our side, and to join forces and get advantage of all the resources for our usage.
Yeah,
Eh,
awesome. Did you join
Okay,
our Slack already?
yeah, I think yes. I
Okay,
when I discovered the project, I joined it everywhere.
okay, cool. So yeah,
Yes. But I didn't have take the time to rip in deep. All I just was watching live streaming, but this was like an invitation of an API event and like a meetup. I don't remember. And then I discovered the project, and I think it was in Spanish. I don't remember.
okay.
Cool. Okay, good to see you. Keep in touch
Yeah,
and have a nice day.
okay.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks for joining again. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Nice. So we are. It's 10 a.m. So last week we would just start the meeting, but thanks to Thomas Jefferson, we have time change. Anyway, so where are we at? Like, how would we summarize?
So I think I'll start a new discussion in Molina titled 1.0. And I think it would be a good idea if we started integrating it with the CLI. I'm going to create an issue for it because whether we want it before or after version 1, kind of, I can understand both reasons. And I'm going to create a new issue in the website as well for the support of multiple inputs, how we can highlight that.
And how much because I was not involved in the review. How much is the current playground coupled with the rest of the website? It's probably coupled a lot, right?
Not really, no. It's almost like a module in itself. So
Okay.
in a sense, you could actually pull it out and then in a new repo and let other use it as well.
Yeah, we could think about it, like even integrating it with the with the Modellina project, right? Have it as a sub project. So then
You mean Studio?
no.
Or-
I mean, like have it like a standalone playground.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And have the source code in Modellina project as some
That could for sure be a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the most important. Like the most important is to have it at least in AsyncAPI, because like other packages, I know like Spectral and others that are owned by, for example, Stoplight. It like when I was researching them and I saw playground part of some Stoplight UI, I didn't care much about where is it embedded. Like the most important for me was that I could actually quickly play out with the tool. So it's not a big deal that it's now in AsyncAPI.com, as long as we enable other inputs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
agree.
so I would say it went well, the stream. We continue discussing. So whoever during the stream was super interested
I would
with
say so too.
oh sorry, I think you were lost and I interrupted you.
No, I just lagged out again. Even the internet is like, this is too early, man. Not ready.
No, because I just brought internet for 1 hour and we are 3 minutes after, so my bucket of internet is close to empty. So for all those listening, like thanks a lot for being on the live stream. I've made some notes how we can make it loud about the project, but I think the most important outcome is that we first, like we identified like two big topics that we could first approach and try to fix before we make it loud about the project, which is 1.0 release and this vulnerability that we should have another look at it and see what we can do with it before 1.0 release. So follow-up discussion, Modellina repo in AsyncAPI org. There's discussion tab. I'm sure Jonas will post it in the Slack. And would that be
Are
all?
you gonna create another discussion following that? So how to make noise, or how should we promote it?
In Modellina? Yeah, I can do it actually and put.
Let's just say after 1.0.
No, I mean, we can like we can brainstorm, like continue brainstorming on different channels where we can make it loud about the project. We can continue discussion in Modellina project. So I can, because like my notes, I will forget about them in like I'm gonna forget about them in 1 week. So if I put them now in the discussion, it's actually a good idea from your side. Like put it in the discussion and then like asynchronously let's scale the list. It's gonna be useful also for other projects in the future. So
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So last words. Conference AsyncAPI.com. We have schedule published. The conference happens with a lot of support from like, I'm not good in showing shit, whatever. You see logos top right, IBM, Ably, WSO2, Solus, and Postman are our platinum sponsors. What else? Today we have another stream, a contributor first, and it happens at 4 p.m. UTC So for European folks, if last week you accessed the meeting, the stream at 6 p.m., now it's going to be 5 p.m.
Shouldn't you just move it
to 6 p.m. again? No, why? I would move from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., but moving from 5 to 6, no. For me, 5 p.m. is very comfortable.
Fair enough.
Let this time, Thomas Jefferson. Thanks, Mike. Sometimes your decisions are useful, sometimes not. Okay, yeah, let's finish. Thanks a lot again for joining, Jonas. Especially, I know how hard it was for you to wake up that early. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for holding this one.
Cheers.
See ya.